Hello everyone, you're watching NDTV. The nominations and withdrawal of nominations for the Maharashtra Assembly elections have both concluded. Both major political alliances, that is the Maha Yuti and Maha Vikas Aghadi, are grappling with substantial challenges from rebel candidates within their ranks. The Maha Yuti alliance identified approximately 80 rebel candidates, while around 150 politicians across parties have filed nominations challenging official candidates in various constituencies across Maharashtra. Today, Shiv Sena Uddhav Thackeray wing chief, that is Uddhav Thackeray himself, expelled 5 rebel candidates for anti-party activities after they failed to withdraw nominations filed for the November 20th Maharashtra Assembly elections. From the Maha Vikas Aghadi side, which is of course comprising of the Congress, the Shiv Sena Uddhav Thackeray faction and Sharat Pawar's NCP, 14 leaders have filed nominations defying party high command. Among those who withdrew their nominations by the Monday deadline was Congress party's Mukhtar Shaikh, who withdrew from the Kasba Assembly constituency in Pune and announced his support to the party's official candidate Ravindra Dhangekar. Also on the show tonight, we look at what does this possible hint, which has been dropped by the grand old man of Maharashtra politics of retirement, Sharat Pawar, really mean. Sharat Pawar has said that he wants to pass on the baton of Baramati's progress to Yogendra Pawar for the next 30 years. Pawar said so. And he also went on to say that though he will not be involved in electoral or provincial politics, he will continue his public work. The NCP Sharat Pawar faction, remember, has pitted Yogendra against his uncle Ajit Pawar, who is a 7-time sitting MLA from Baramati. The assembly poll in Baramati will be the second tussle within the Pawar family after the Lok Sabha elections earlier this year. That time, what we saw was NCP Sharat Pawar faction had fielded Supriya Sule, who in fact went on to defeat Sunetra Pawar, wife of her cousin Ajit Pawar. So 2 big stories emerging from Maharashtra, and we'll be putting spotlight on both these developments. Rohit Chandravarkar is joining us live. We also have Susi Bensha, spokesperson of Shiv Sena, and Mahesh Chavan, spokesperson of NCP Sharat Chandra Pawar. You know, Rohit Chandravarkar, we know how Sharat Pawar is one of those politicians we cannot really second guess. But would you say that that sympathy aspect was there in the Lok Sabha polls, and those who had to vote for either NCP or Shiv Sena Uddhav Thackeray on the basis of sympathy, they would have done so far? Now, a lot of water has, flown under the bridge.
That's right. In fact, if you are referring to, Sharat Pawar's strategy, specifically, his speech today in Supe village in Pune district, where he hinted that he will not be campaigning again in any kind of election or contesting any election. But he made it clear that he will stay in public life, he will be doing social work, etc. Yes, this is a pitch for emotional appeal. Obviously, there will be some sympathy factor. And you're right. I mean, majority of the sympathy factor got used, I think, in the Lok Sabha polls. The sympathy that came looking at the way parties were split and other factors that was utilized by Uddhav and Sharat Pawar's party during Lok Sabha. So will that sympathy continue? I think my answer to that is, that sympathy may not continue for Uddhav Thackeray, but to some extent because of age factor and because of his public connect, etc., at least in Baramati area, Pune district, that sympathy may stay for some time. And Sharat Pawar, being the wise politician that he is, remember about over a year ago, in June of last year, he had officially announced his retirement from politics in Mumbai. And then there was a lot of drama. Thousands of activists gathered at the YB Chavan Center where his office is. Yes. And they said they will not move from there unless he withdraws his decision. And he withdrew that decision and continued. But this time, I think, in December, 12th December 2024, Sharat Pawar will turn 84. So age factor, health factor, other factors are there. And this election, I think, he is really stretching himself. And the public can see it during the Diwali event at Baramati. I was there. I was present in Baramati, and I saw how thousands of people were waiting in queue to meet him, etc. So that draw is still there, Maria. I think that sympathy may just work for a month more, and Sharad Pawar might benefit out of it.
Yes. So never, second guess what Sharat Pawar is thinking, because we have seen that how, as you pointed out rightly, he announced his retirement, and then that YB Chavan event actually played out where he was forced to take back his resignation as the chief of the political party. So, we cannot really second guess what he's up to. So, Ben Shah, whatever said and done, here is Sharat Pawar, who is in many ways holding the entire Maha Vikas Aghadi together. Isn't that a sense that if Sharat Pawar, known for forming multiple governments in Maharashtra and also at the center, if he is actually determined, then he can get, it can be a matter of huge concern for you all.
Sharat Pawar ji is a grand old man of politics. We wish him 100 healthy years in the service of nation and the Maharashtra. In the same breath, I would like to say that Sharat Pawar ji is known for his U-turn as well. In his long public life, you all know the difference between what he says and what he does. In a day, the things might change, but he would be the chief minister. In the earlier day, he would have denied that I would not like to seek power. But I don't want to dwell in it. As I said, he's a grand old man and he deserves what he's earned all his life. But I would like to say this also, that as far as Baramati is concerned, the statement that he made does come out that in Baramati, the only person who can lead the party in Baramati has to be a Pawar, whether it be Rohit Pawar, whether it be Yogendra Pawar, and whether it be Ajit Dada Pawar. Of course, he did make a passing reference to Ajit Dada about as to how he has been a part of the NCP party. But it cannot be forgotten that today what NCP is because of the efforts, relentless efforts of Ajit Dada. It was on his shoulder till few months ago that the entire NCP was formed and stood. Also,
Ajit Pawar could not really make his wife win from Baramati.
No. In the making of Baramati as the taluka, one of the most developed talukas, I think no one can deny that Ajit Dada had a lion's share in it. But I would also like to say this why. One of the reasons, as I understand, is the constant bickering. You rightly said that he was the glue which held the Maha Vikas Aghadi together. But the constant bickering, the constant tensions, the press conferences, one against the other, especially in Congress and UBT, maybe one of the reasons he want to hang the shoes. But so maybe it is.
Okay, so no. He has hinted, and the place where he hinted so was very, very significant because he understands that in that entire belt, particularly Baramati, which is almost synonymous with Sharat Pawar, he stands for Baramati. And then let's be clear, the reason why Supriya Sule has been winning, of course she has worked on ground, but she is also Sharat Pawar's daughter. That plays an important factor as an issue in Baramati. Yes, you wanted to come in, Mahesh Chavan. The question here is... Yes, ma'am.
There is a groundswell support for Ajit Dada in Baramati. It can't be... I mean, you see his rallies, you would see it. But to play the emotional card, to take away the battle from Ajit Dada, maybe Sharat Pawar ji said
but if it is emotional, then what is stopping Ajit Dada Pawar from doing the same? Come in, Mahesh Chavan, respond to that. That it is pure emotional card that is being played here. Whatever works in politics, Sam Dand Dand, why not? Mahesh Chavan, one moment. Rohit, one moment. Mahesh Chavan.
Okay, Maria, first of all, though his statement is being taken as a hint for his retirement, we cannot imagine NCP without Mr. Sharat Pawar. He's been our mentor. Whatever NCP today is because of Mr. Sharat Pawar. And as far as Baramati is concerned, or the emotional color being given to his statement, I feel... see, what's wrong? He's only 1.5 years of his Rajya Sabha tenure is remaining. And not this time, but 5 years back, 5 years back, when he took this position in Rajya Sabha, that time only, I think he had made it clear that he would not be contesting any Lok Sabha elections and so on. So it is not that he's saying now, because of the elections, upcoming elections. So secondly, he has said that he will be continuing doing his social work. He will be keeping working for the people and the society. So that is said, and he wants to bring the new generation forward. What's the problem?
Okay.
So.
Okay, he's ensuring a generational shift, and rightly so. So, okay, let's look at the other story that we are tracking on our spotlight on Maharashtra. The other story is the rebel factor. Rohit Chandravarkar, let's talk about the rebels and how much of a headache are they, and how much will they be the real vote cutter?
Maria, before coming to that, just one line I want to say, because there has to be clarification for your viewers. Viewers want to know what's going to happen. So for your viewers, I'll tell you, because I've tracked Sharat Paar for more than 30 years and I have interviewed him 5 times on TV and in print. The thing is, he means that he will continue in politics.
Yes.
If he says he will do social work, if he says he is going to be in public life, he will continue in politics as a leader. He will guide others and all. The only thing he's said today in Marathi is that, and I am a Maharashtrian, so I'm just translating that, is that he will not contest elections physically. He will not be in electoral politics. That's it. Now coming to your question, see, rebels have been a big headache for everybody across party lines and across the board. But I can tell you one thing without being biased, that the BJP somehow has managed it well this time. And I can say this with 20 examples in my mind right now. Just to give a few: Gopal Shetty, Svikruti Sharma, Amol Balwarkar in Pune, several. I can give you 20 names. The BJP somehow seems to have managed the rebels in a better manner compared to Maha Vikas Aghadi. I can see that in the current situation, Maha Vikas Aghadi is going to have more trouble with rebels compared to BJP-led Mahayuti. Somehow they have managed it well. But the important factor here, which everybody has to understand, is that the winning margin, I keep saying this in almost every show, the winning margin is likely to be in hundreds and thousands, just 2,000, 1,500 votes. So even if a rebel or an independent candidate takes away, let's say 5,000 votes, even 7,000, 8,000 votes, that can tilt the situation completely. That can change the situation completely in a constituency. So the leaders from both sides are a bit worried and quite concerned about the rebel factor. I think within MVA, Maha Vikas Aghadi, that factor is even worse, because the 3 parties haven't got along to some extent in various regions, especially in Western Maharashtra, North Maharashtra, etc. And the rebellion is going to, create some trouble for them in winning many seats. That much I can say.
So Mahesh, are you not able to manage the rebels well? Because today Uddhav Thackeray sacked 5 of the rebels, removed them from the party. How is that really a solution? I mean, if you can't manage aspirations, try and mollycoddle them. That is how the BJP functions. I mean, are you functioning in a different way completely? Because they'll dent further. They'll dent, make a dent in your vote bank.
Maria, see, it's but obvious when you fight elections in an alliance, the number of seats get limited, and the aspirants, they of course have, they have to do this. They come up with the rebellions and all that. It has happened with MVA as well as in Mahayuti. Then in MVA, if you see, the number is not much. A few seats are there, and we have to face it. We are ready to face it, and we are prepared for it. So whatever dent or whatever it will cause, we are ready to tackle it.
Okay, let me give the last word to Susi Ben Shah. The rebels are a headache, as Rohit was pointing out. On the face of it, it certainly appears that Mahayuti has managed the rebels much better than Maha Vikas Aghadi. Why do you think you have done so? What do you think has worked for you? You have managed to convince them and manage their aspirations. What exactly have you done?
Maria, I'll tell you this, that we are firmly on our saddle, and none of our party workers across Mahayuti or in Maharashtra, everyone is convinced that we are forming the next government. With that in mind, we have of course spoken to them, as you rightly word, mollycoddled them, convinced them that it is not in the interest of Mahayuti to have rebels. So I think we have done the convincing well. We have a cadre-based party, whether it be the BJP or the Shiv Sena, and the word of the Pramukh Neta is the final word. You can't, how much ever aspirational you might be, but after all, the party decides for you. And I think we have taken it, we have humbly taken it, and you will see that the rebel factor will not affect the Mahayuti as much as it will affect Maha Aghadi.
Okay, Rohit, as an analyst, as a poll watcher, 2 weeks to go for the crucial battle. Of course, today all of us are talking about the great battle for America, but let's focus on our own Maharashtra elections. And as an analyst, what do you think is a headache for which party?
Yeah. I thought you were going to ask me who's winning, Trump or Kamala. But,
no. I'll leave it for the pollsters there. They are having a headache as much as our pollsters here have it.
So yeah. So you can, Maria, you also seen Delhi politics and Maharashtra and everything for long enough. Just don't ask me who's winning. That's the only thing you can't ask me. And it's really very tricky. And it's going to be down to the wire. I mean, I keep saying, the margin is going to be small. The people might be shifting from one side to another. Whatever, anything can happen in Maharashtra. And perhaps you can predict the US poll results because the percentage and all we know. But here we just don't know. There are six big players divided in two alliances. Right now, I can tell you that one line I can give is yes, BJP-led alliances managed the rebellion well. And just to be balanced, I'll give some marks to the MVA, Maha Vikas Aghadi, in terms of managing the caste equations very well while selecting candidates. Because remember, this election is going to see a lot of caste-based polarization, Maratha factor and other things. Manoj Jarange Patil's withdrawal is going to benefit the MVA a bit. So they also have some benefits in some ways. But the BJP-led alliance has managed rebellion well, and perhaps that will work for them. And the direct benefit transfer schemes are making a lot of impact. This Ladki Bahan Yojana and the other things, farmers getting electricity for their water pumps free of charge, etc. Those things might work for the Mahayuti, and the caste equation might work for the Maha Vikas Aghadi.
Okay, that's actually very well summed up. So Rohit, thank you so much. Susi Ben Shah, pleasure having you on my shows. Mahesh Chavan, thank you so much for joining us.